being has a basic instinct to help each other out.
Yeah,
If
right.
a hiker gets lost in the mountains, people coordinate a search. If an earthquake levels the city, people all over the world send emergency supplies. This instinct is found in every culture, without exception.
At around 4:30 a.m., our satellites detected a storm approaching the Ares 3 mission site on Mars. The storm had escalated to severe, and we had no choice but to abort the mission. But during the evacuation, astronaut Mark Watney was killed.
I'm entering this log for the record. This is Mark Watney, and I'm still alive. Obviously. I have no way to contact NASA or my crewmates, but even if I could, it would take 4 years for another manned mission to reach me, and I'm in a HAB designed to last 31 days. So, in the face of overwhelming odds, I'm left with only one option. I'm gonna have to science the hell out of this. Okay, let's do the math. I gotta figure out how to grow 4 years of food on a planet where nothing grows. But if I can't figure out a way to make contact with NASA, none of this matters anyway.
Houston, be advised. We've got a video message. It's directed to the whole crew. Play it.
Mein Gott. Mark Watney's still alive.
In your face, Neil Armstrong.
We left him behind. Let's go get our boy. This is something NASA rejected. So we're talking mutiny. And if we mess up the supply rendezvous, we die. If we mess up the Earth gravity assist, we die.
It's space. It doesn't cooperate. I guarantee you that at some point, everything's gonna go south on you. And you're gonna say, this is it. This is how I end.
Is it possible that he's still alive?
Well, The Martian it is. So we go from what year? So we go from 1979 to 2003 to 2015. And boy was this a year. So believe it or not, yes, The Martian came out in 2015. I still can't believe it. It feels like I just bought this yesterday. So I will be reviewing it right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only. Okay, Mickey, you're on.
M-I-C-K-E-Y, M-O-U-S-E.
Mickey Mouse!
Well, wait on.
Mickey Mouse!
Aw, shucks.
You talk to me! Come along and take the song from the family. M-I-C-K-E-Y, M-O-U-S-E.
The Talking Mickey Mouse from Worlds of Wonder.
Well, this is a nice little Mickey Mouse commercial here to complement this wonderful Martian. Still singing the song, I see. Such interesting off-camera conversations. So this was apparently a talking Mickey Mouse in 1987. I do not remember this. I just randomly clicked on a commercial and found it. So I figured this might be fun for the wonderful Martian. So this movie, like I said, came out in 2015. And the top movie of that year worldwide was Child Wars, The Force Awakens. And Jurassic World was actually number 2. I still cannot believe that Jurassic World and this movie came out 11 years ago. That is...
How about Star Wars?
Child Wars. Oh yeah, that was a nice big hit. Let's just say somebody brought that movie over to my house. 2 of us made fun of it, and 1 person took it very seriously and didn't appreciate our humor. Pretty much picking the whole movie apart, limb. And there were some other interesting choices that came out that year. The Big Short was one that wasn't bad. But then we had some interesting ones. I'm trying to remember the names. They were really, really weird. Do you remember any of them I named yesterday? Well, I just filmed the clunkers. So Knock Knock came out. We have the remake vacation movie with Ed Helms. So now we're really getting towards the junk. Um, what else came out? Why am I drawing so many blanks on this?
What did I just say? It's Perfect 2, San Andreas.
Oh, San Andreas. Yes, that is the one. Yes, I still can't believe that came out 11 years ago. So
Escape, The
so
Witch,
oh, no Escape was another disappointment.
Focus.
No, I think yeah. You know what? I think that pretty much sums it
The
up.
Longest Ride.
Okay, The Longest Ride apparently was good. I've never seen it, but
It's on Nicholas Sparks book.
oh, it's based on a Nicholas Sparks book. Well, it's got to be better than New Vacation or No Escape, or better than Knock Knock for that whole thing there. What?
You have to find that.
Oh,
I don't have that.
the movie or the book?
The movie I have it.
Oh, okay. And then of course San Andreas was, I guess, a little bit below fair. I guess it was a thriller. Unfortunately, it's one that I actually did right when I was in third grade. Just the part about predicting the earthquakes. So, getting back to The Martian. So, so this does star Matt Damon, and I know that he's a very popular actor, but apparently he is going to need an introduction as usual. So, oh, I don't mean that in a bad way. He was, of course, he was in Saving Private Ryan.
Nope.
He was in Courage Under Fire.
Nope.
Goodwill Hunting.
Nope.
The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Nope.
He was in the Born and Nonsense movies.
I have all
The Born Nonsense movies, which I only saw the first one and decided not to see any more.
those. Watch all of them. I have.
Oh, jeez. Just Matt Damon doing martial arts just does not mix well with me at all. And he was also in The Rainmaker. He was in Rounders. He was in the movie Air, Saving Private. Oh yes, I already said that one. Interstellar. And that's just to name just a few. Of course, he was in several things. He's one of today's top actors. I guess he has made it through the nonsense. I guess so. And then next we do have Jeff Daniels, who of course is a very talented actor.
Who?
He was in Speed.
And who?
The guy that got blown up.
The partner?
Yes.
Oh.
What was his name in that? Why did I forget? I forgot his name. Oh, Harry. Harry. That's who he played in
No,
that.
Harry was the bad guy, I thought.
No. No. Howard Payne was the bad guy. No, Harry was his.
Okay, we're off topic here.
Okay, so yeah, so he was in Speed, Dumb and Dumber,
Nope.
Trial and Error,
Nope.
Fly Away Home,
Nope.
Gettysburg,
Nope.
Gods and Generals.
Nope.
My favorite, I think he was actually in My Favorite Martian. Now that I think of it, so that is Jeff Daniels. We also have Sean Bean, who plays Mitch Henderson. He was actually in GoldenEye.
Nope.
He was 008 in that movie. And then here's an interesting name to pronounce. He was in 12 Years a Slave, and his name is Chiwetel Ejiofor. And I know that I pretty much butchered that.
That's not how you pronounce it.
And his name is Vincent Kapoor in this. So, yes, I know I just butchered that name. And we do have Michael Pena as Rick Martinez. He has been in several movies as well, The Lincoln Lawyer and World Trade Center, just to name a couple. And then we have Kristen Wiig as Annie Montrose. And she was in the Girls Ghostbusters movie, which I'm sure she wants off her resume. She was fighting as of right now to get that off. And she was also in the movie Knocked Up. So she has been in She has been in several newer movies that I may not be familiar with, so I do apologize for that. So, and these are newer actors, so yes, I don't know all of them. And Donald Glover is also in this movie as well as Rich Purnell.
Nope.
And then we also have Jessica Chastain, who of course was an Interstellar, and she is, I believe, Commander Lewis. Yes. So
Nope.
so that is pretty much the actors that I will name because this is a longer movie, and it turns out my cat is taking over the dog bed. So now I will show the first clip in just a couple seconds here after I tell this very simple story, because it is pretty much Mark Watney. He's on a mission to Mars, and it's very simple but very um, complex at the same time. He is hit with a storm on Mars, and he is knocked over by the actual storm. It takes him, blows him away. It's dark; they can't see him. So his team then makes the tough decision to leave. So they are assuming that he's dead, and so they end up leaving. They obviously have a funeral for him, and it turns out that they find out he's alive. Now what? So this turns into a big deal. He's got limited food, limited oxygen, limited water, and it will probably take them 4 years to get him. Big problems. And Mars is not exactly a planet that cooperates. You can't grow anything on it. There's not exactly there's not exactly a lake there where you could just go and get water. So it's very interesting. And I probably do have to explain this to Reddit and Discord users that think that there's actually life on Mars and that it's just a second Earth. So now I will show the clip of the storm in just a second.
Warning. Suit breach detected. What happened? He was hit. Why did he report? Before we lost telemetry, the compression alarm went off. What happened? What do you want me to do? I can't. I know where he is. I don't want to see.
Well, ooh, this hurts. I cannot imagine what this would be like. And then you have to make the really hard decision to leave. So yes, some of them actually did, like Mark Watney. One of them was actually his best friend, and now you are leaving him there on that planet. So obviously not a very easy decision, but it's one that had to be made. So well, they actually did discuss that beforehand, but I'm not going to show every single clip. And since this is our friends at 20th Century Fox that I love so much, we have to keep these short. So I am I pretty much think that everybody has seen this movie, but those who haven't, well, I'm glad I am now finally reviewing this. So now we will see the director of NASA, played by Jeff Daniels. Oh, I forgot. No, his name's Teddy. Oh, Teddy Sanders.
He looks old.
So Colonel Sanders is about to make the wonderful announcement here, and it's just how he said it I found kind of amusing. So I will show that clip in just a second.
Debris and killed. Commander Lewis and the rest of her team were able to intercept safely with the Hermes and are now heading home. But Mark Watney is dead.
Well, off camera again, we're talking about clips that got cut in yesterday's video. So we're hoping these will not get cut. So yes, this part here with the director of NASA. So I was
an idiot. Yes, we know.
so I was told that my little observation here I was not far off. He did say both of those things kind of weird to the press. It did actually make me laugh the first few times I saw this. It's just how he delivered that Mark Watney was killed. And Mark Watney is dead. He didn't say, I'm sorry that he's dead. I'm sorry to the families. He just flat out just said, he's dead. So,
Twice.
twice.
One time wasn't enough.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, well, yeah. Then of course he lightened up when the other the other four were alive. But Mark Watney, well, he's just a botanist. He's dead. So, just imagine seeing the family seeing that, and the director of NASA is looking like a clown on TV. So again, I did actually laugh at that. So the next thing I will show is actually a still. I like this little shot of Mars here. So I will show that in just a second, and this at least will not get cut. I just figured this would be a nice shot at Mars here. So this is a nice little still that I picked. I actually found the Mars scenes actually really, really cool throughout the movie. So now in the next clip here, we get to see Mark Watney um, waking up. So he is, let's see if he's enjoying the Mars scenery as much as we are. So I will show that clip in just a second. So he's obviously in some discomfort and pain. He is not happy, but what he should do is he should open up a fortune cookie, and I'm sure it will say, "Sing and rejoice, because fortune is smiling on you, Mark Watney. So don't you worry, everything will be fine." So I'm sure that is what he's thinking, as this thing is pretty much punctured right through his suit and apparently his gut as well.
Where do they come with these stupid questions?
I honestly don't know. None of them are good. So now the good thing is here is apparently since it punctured him, his blood actually froze, and it actually sealed that suit together. Could that happen? I don't know. I,
Probably not.
I really don't. The pressure on Mars is so much different than Earth. So it would take more than duct tape to fix things. Um, so obviously, in that clip is actually in this movie with duct tape. So there are some goofy things here and there, but it's okay. It's just a movie. So now I will actually show the next clip here where he's doing the math on how much food it will be to keep him alive. So I will show that clip in just a second.
Let's do the math. Our service mission here was supposed to last 31 souls. For redundancy, they sent 68 souls worth of food. That's for 6 people. So for just me, that's going to last 300 souls, which I figure I can stretch to 400 if I ration. So I got to figure out a way to grow 3 years worth of food here on a planet where nothing grows.
Well, he did the math on the food here, and this is I mean I'm not doubting him doing this, but this is if this is pretty much factoring in if everything goes perfectly fine, and it's like he said, space does not cooperate. So now what makes this worse is the only thing he ends up growing here is potatoes. I would go nuts. So I will show how he does that in just a second. Well, this is going to make Discord people happy. You get to see some poop here. This seems to excite that community. So this is how he is making his wonderful potatoes. And by the way, I would go nuts. I am not a potato person. Ask anybody. Not one of my favorite foods. Not one of my favorite foods at all. So this is what I would have to live with for 3 years. Oh my god. So, yeah, I would not do well. Mark Watney is going to make the best of it, though, because he is in pure survival mode. And he is a botanist, so he is using everything to his advantage, even Martinez, his personal items, his cross. Yes, so he's using a religious instrument to as a flammable object to use to eventually put things on fire because they don't want you to do that in space. So, Martinez, your stuff is being burned. So now I will show the next clip of when they discover that Mark Watney is alive. And I'm sure the director of NASA is going to be as polite and very compassionate when he finds this out. So I will show that clip in just a second.
You've got to be shitting me.
Cleaned by wind.
Back it up. Look at Rover 2. According to the logs, Commander Lewis took it out, Sol 17, plugged it into the hab to recharge. It's been moved.
She could have forgotten to log the move.
No, not likely. Well, why don't we just ask Lewis? Let's get on Capcom and ask her directly right now.
No. If Watney is really alive, we don't want the Ares 3 crew to know.
How can you not tell them?
They have another 10 months on their trip home. Space travel is dangerous. They need to be alert and undistracted.
But they already think he's dead.
And they'd be devastated to find nothing left in their life.
Well, this is the director again. So he's sort of in denial at first with Mark Watney being alive. He's really thinking of how can he get out of this situation. Because obviously NASA is going to get a black eye for this. It's what Kristen Wiig says, that there's pretty much going to be a huge storm heading their way. Yes, I did forget her character name again. Okay, Annie Montrose, sorry. And they don't really use her name a whole lot in this. And I believe Kristen Wiig is actually a comedian. So she's obviously she's trying to tell them that they did not think this through. So because they are not telling the people that left them there that Mark Watney is still alive because they are on their way home and they don't want any distractions. You can any opinions fine here if you do want to comment on that. Are they doing the right thing or not? I don't know if there is really a right or wrong answer. Somebody's shaking their head no, so somebody's has a very strong opinion on this. I think that person thinks that the NASA director is a D-bag, and I am correct. Okay, so I will show the next clip here. He's using the rover, and he doesn't use the heater, so he has to find another way to get heat in that thing, or there's going to be a problem because yes, Mars is incredibly cold. So no, it's cold.
That's two something.
So I will show that clip in just a second.
Bad news, it involves me digging up the radioisotope thermoelectric generator. Now, if I remember my training correctly, one of the lessons was titled, Don't Dig Up the Big Box of Plutonium, Mark. I get it, RTGs are good for spacecraft, but if they rupture around humans, no more humans. Which is why we buried it when we arrived. And planted that flag so we would never be stupid enough to accidentally go near it again. But, as long as I don't break it.
I almost just said everything will be.
So this would be my best friend if I was on Mars, since I hate the cold. So yes, I would hate Mars with a passion. So yes,
You would not be going anywhere near that if you are Mars.
I would be very quick to dig that sucker up.
No, you were not.
I would put it on the back of that car. I would strap it onto my back. I would make sure that that thing is my best friend because I am not dying cold. So, so as I'm being kicked out of the house,
You could watch
I-
that food stuff.
I,
Stuff like
so yes, so he puts this in the rover, so this way he doesn't have to milk the battery because if he puts the heater on, well, that would obviously drain the battery. He doesn't want to do that, so this is a great option for him. I think I'll say a okay option because
so the pothole
there's no pothole. He's not on
okay,
Earth.
right. He hits a bump.
He hits a bump or like a rock or something. Yes, the ground from Mars, I'm sure, is a lot smoother than the roads of the United States. Yes, that dirt is probably better than the. That's what I was getting at. Yes, it does. It's still much smoother than some of the roads out here. So I will show the next clip here. We get to meet Mitch Henderson, who wants the director of NASA and Vince Kapoor to tell the crew that Mark Watney is alive. So I will show that clip in just a second.
We need to tell the crew. Mitch, we discuss this. No, you discuss this. I'm the one who decides what's best for the crew. They deserve to know.
Well, so Mitch Henderson wants to tell the crew, and they're pretty much the director of NASA is pretty much telling him to kick rocks. So again, yes, it is. I'm going to take it for this moment. So So again, I don't know what the right or wrong answer is here, but you know what? I might actually trust Mitch Henderson in this case. He does look like he's pretty level-headed, and he's actually in charge of what would be best for the crew. So no, I'm going to take Mitch Henderson's word for it. So now we get to see how Mark Watney's wonderful potatoes are doing. Um, for his sake, I hope they're doing good. For mine, I would just look at them and say, "Oh, I grew these. It's terrific. I'm having potatoes for dinner." So I will show that clip in just a second.
Smaller ones I'll reseed. The larger ones are my food supply. All natural, organic, Martian grown potatoes.
Well, my mom
You
don't
don't
like
do
them
that
now.
every day, do you? And by the way,
Oh, nuts. Well, here are the potatoes. So I am impressed, except for the fact that he is growing potatoes. But for a planet that doesn't grow, yeah, this was actually pretty cool. Um, now, I do like them when they look all nice, when they're nice and green, when they're plants, but then when he actually starts eating them, I start to cringe. So now I have a guest with me. Stimpy decided to join, and he is ready for me to show my next clip. So now he found a. It turns out that Mark Watney may have found a way to communicate with NASA, the wonderful organization that kept him stranded to begin with. So I will show that clip in just a second.
That's no questions. No, all we can do is point the camera. This won't exactly be an Algonquin round table to snap your repartee.
Yeah, just point the camera.
Roger that. Oh! Point.
Well, so now he found a way to communicate with the wonderful NASA. So let's see what happens when he actually does. I'll show that clip in just a second.
Okay, he says, they don't know I'm alive.
Mark, please watch your language. Everything you type is being broadcast live all over the world.
Yeah?
This part was pretty amusing here. I do like how the director of NASA was watching everything that he was saying, and he was just dropping F bombs left and right, probably some other creative texts as well. And the director of NASA was probably stunned by this, or maybe he didn't understand it because clearly he's not very creative with his own words. Um, so this part was amusing, and I'm actually at Mark Watney's side on this. I mean, who really cares if this is being broadcast all over the world? He's on a different world. So, what are they going to do? Send the feds to his house? So, now I will show the next clip of where Mitch Henderson is telling the Aries about that Mark Watney is alive. So, he is telling the crew. So, I will show that clip in just a second.
Satellite to prove this. Mark Watney is still alive. I know that's a surprise, and I know you'll have a lot of questions. But here are the basics. He's alive, and he's healthy. We found out 2 months ago, and decided not to tell you.
2 months.
So obviously the crew isn't too happy now that they found out quite a few months later. Oh, it was two. I thought it was three for some reason. So 2 months it took them to tell the crew. Obviously, they're not happy about this at all. So now we will see what happens if what will happen if the Hab decided to get some of that wonderful Mars um, high pressure atmosphere into one of those Habs. So I will find out, and we will find out in just a second. The crops are dead. So this is what happens on a wonderful planet that all it does is have negative temperatures. I don't know what it was, but yes, the crops are frozen. So obviously, Mark is very, very upset. His his food source is gone, but I think all that hard work is actually I think that makes him feel even worse. But on the upside, now he does get to talk to the crew that left him behind. So we will see that conversation in just a second.
Dear Martinez, Mars is fine. I accidentally blew up the hab, but unfortunately, all of Commander Lewis's disco music still survived.
So obviously, Mark Watney's happy to talk to the crew again. They're obviously joking around about the disco. He pretty much told them that he blew up the hab. So so now they're having a nice little conversation. So this is the only way he can do it. So I guess he's making the best of it. Plus, he's busy during the day getting the stuff ready. So he has several daily achievements. So now we get to meet Rich Parnell, who's an interesting character in this movie. He's got a few. If you think the director of NASA is bad, this guy's got some weird quirks to him. So now this little spot here I'm showing because this was not in the script. This was something that Donald Glover actually ended up doing by accident, but they kept it in anyway. So I will show that clip in just a second.
You alright? Fine. You do understand I'm your boss, right? Uh-huh.
So yes, the actor Donald Glover really did slip and fall. So so now his quirkiness here, he finds an easier way to do a rescue mission to get Mark Watney, but he doesn't tell his boss. He just sits in his chair and starts to write. His quirky behavior is like this even with the director of NASA as well. So now we're going to see what the supply rocket does. There was no inspection on it. That's not good. So they have to get this thing up and running. So let's see what happens. So I will show that clip in just a second.
Spinning on the long axis, run 70-degree precession.
Launch. Or sounding.
Force on Iris at 7 Gs.
Well, this is what happens when you don't go through protocol. So I guess this just sort of just blew up. Everything looked good. They're celebrating, and then of course we know what happens when you shouldn't do that until you know that everything is good to go. So obviously this just kind of blew up like a nice little balloon. So it pretty much busted open like a pinata. So now I will show the next clip here where the Ares crew decides to just go against NASA and they decide to get their buddy. So I will show that clip in just a second.
More than enough space for one life, so yes.
I vote yes.
Let's go get him.
You're handsome. Yes.
This is the clip here where they are deciding to go against them and they're going to go get their buddy Mark. So now the commander can be court-martialed once they do land. So they can be gone for 3 years, come back, and then oh wait, yes, you're going to be getting arrested, commander. So so there's two of them that could actually be court-martialed. I believe the bald guy as well, the one with the beard. I just forgot his name. That would be Mark's best friend. So those two would be court-martialed because I believe they are military. So now I will show the final clip. They are finding a way to make Watney's spaceship lighter because he does find the, I believe it was the Russian. No, wait, I'm trying to remember exactly what it is, but he has a little device to go to the Ares, but they have to make it. They have to lighten the load a little bit. So I will show that clip in just a second.
That means, well, it can't enter Mars's orbit. Otherwise, they'll never have enough fuel to make it home. The MAV, that was only designed to get to low Mars orbit. So in order for Mark to escape Mars's gravity entirely to intercept the Hermes.
He has to be going fast.
Exactly.
Which means we need to make the map lighter. A lot lighter. 5,000 kilograms lighter.
The whole
Wait a
trip.
second. If he's in his EVA suit, how's he going to operate the controls?
Well, he won't. Martinez will pilot the MAV, but remotely from the
We've never
Hermes.
had a manned ship controlled remotely before.
No, he ain't got to that stuff yet.
Well, let's skip to the bad stuff. We need to remove the nose airlock, the windows, and hull panel 19.
You want to take the front of the ship home?
Sure. The nose airlock alone is 400 kilograms.
So this is the final clip here. Unfortunately,
Very long.
you're gonna have to see this this movie for yourself. So pretty much what they're doing is the
We might
scenes.
not have that final clip, by the way.
Yes, these scenes. This scene took longer than I really wanted it to. It took them forever to get to take the nose off, take this off, take that off. So pretty much, it's what Mark Watney said. They're pretty much launching them up in a convertible. I actually think it's even worse than that. I think they're just setting them up in a seat of a.
That's exactly what
It's more of a seat of a convertible. So yeah, it's the first time I saw this, my eyes were bulging out of my head because and here is the bad thing. I bought this movie when it first came out on DVD. Um, I just had Rascal as a puppy, and there's a lot of dialogue in this movie. So this was 2.5 hours. It probably took me a full 8 to actually watch the movie. 8 hours, and then I think I watched it the day after because I missed a lot. So I watched. Oh yes, he needed constant attention. He barked a lot. Um, she wasn't there. I was actually by myself with Skip, who was okay, but Rascal was he was a very wild puppy. I don't think he ever slept at all. So yes,
all he does now is sleep.
yes, so I did buy this in the winter months, so that was a good thing. So I was able to watch it as much as I wanted, and there were no objections because I was by myself, and Skip wasn't going to stop me. So so like I said, this is the final clip. I'm not going to tell you what happens. I know a lot of people have seen this already. And again, this did not really happen. This is not based on true events. But there is a book. I believe this was based on a novel. So now to grade this movie. Is it enjoyable? Oh, absolutely. I recommend it. I'm actually recommending a movie from 2015. Can you believe it? So this is this is definitely worth a watch. Obviously, there are some parts in here that do raise questions. I don't think the characters are that bad. Well, he is, but you have to have that in this kind of movie. He plays the part well, is what I was trying to get at. I don't think the characters are as bad as what I read on IMDb. So I will definitely give this a B minus. The duct tape part did annoy me. Um, I don't know why. Maybe I'm just nitpicking. But then there were some other parts that were sort of unrealistic as well. But this is science fiction. But I don't know. Little things I did nitpick in it. But other than that, this was very, very good. I like this a lot better than Child Wars for sure.
Never heard of it.
It was a lot better than No Escape. That was
Never heard of it.
that was one of the, and San Andreas, don't even get me started. So yes, this was definitely a better movie in 2015. Can you watch this as a family? I'm gonna say just maybe just fast forward a couple parts and you are good. But I don't think a lot of parents have restrictions these days, but I don't really know for sure. So yeah, so please comment below. What is your favorite space movie? This is
Space
I guess that
I
counts.
was kidding.
I,
You said space. It's
I did say space movie, and they do go up into space. This is on my list. Is definitely enjoyable. Is it my favorite? I'm not really sure, but definitely comment below. Subscribe if you want, and thank you very much for watching.